Hi, my name's John Cordy, and I'm embroiled in an ongoing beef with first sort of cross paths about 7 months ago, and Leon dropped a mixtape in which I dropped another mixtape which I sort of just cast doubt over whether he even owned a cat, and it's sort of just gone on from there and there. And I just wanted to announce that on Saturday I'm dropping a mixtape which will really kind of seal the deal and put the nail in that coffin. So watch out, Leon, obviously. No, it's a dog. No, what today's video and kind of two little, we've got 8 scenes we've got 8 scenes per preset, and 3 buttons. I didn't know if you realise this, on any of them you can get through, this is in scenes mode obviously, so hold on, let me just, our master layout, if you hold the middle button you get to your master layout, and then you've got presets, scenes, effects and so on. I use scenes mode, and then basically if you like non-fractal alternatives to, what that means is you've got access to all of those 8 presets without having to have additional foot switches, which is something that I really appreciate, because eventually when I get round to gigging, generally I will use sort of 3 or 4 sounds, and that means that with scenes I can cover all of those. And if there were additional sounds that I don't use so much, like something with a crazy dotted delay, I could set that up as another scene. Press that, Bob's your uncle, actually no, his name's Steve, and you're ready to go. So the thing that I wanted to talk about was that you can copy scenes, which is something I googled today. I remember asking if this was possible. You can copy scenes and blocks. I asked and someone pointed out that it is possible. So if you go into layout and you go across on the page view to tools, you'll see you've got functions. If you go, so you can move the block left, move block right, move block, I think. That's not right. So copy channel, so say in your cab settings, you've got, you're using like a Mesa Boogie Mark II, sort of helix snapshot based. So I might say, alright, I want to copy all of my settings from amp A or channel A, and I want to set that up as channel B, but channel B I'm going to tweak slightly, boost the mids or something like that. So that's something you can do if you put to the function copy channel from A, or again you might want to use a plex delay with the same settings but the mix turned up. So you just copy channel A and then to B or C or D, you've got 4 channels obviously, and then you can copy that and create basically a new instance in between. That's one useful thing. And then copy scene was the other thing which is really useful. So I'll explain why. Or you could copy scene 1 across all of the 8 copy scene 1 to all of the 8 scenes. Why is that useful? Here's the reason I think. So let's imagine my main settings are, I've got a clean setting, a rhythm-ish setting, so I've got them all set up going through exactly the same amp. So I've got them set up going through exactly the same, and reverb and all that stuff. So I've got a consistent sound. I think I've got a clean version of the Mesa Boogie 2C on the clean setting. A lead, I've got a driven setting, and then for the gain I've got it on a less driven setting. So there's 3 instances of an amp. So done. If I long press, what I've also done is set up those exact same settings and presets, but going through a different cab combination. And I did the copy scenes to do that. So I copied the medium scene from 1 to 4, then the lead scene from 2 to 5 to 6. Probably that's the math, isn't it? And and I've set up with a slightly different speaker combination. So the first one, I was looking for a 1265 speaker, so I was looking through the cab list, which I also recommend doing because it can help to sort of shed some light and give you another way to sort of think of factory cab lists, which isn't necessarily all that manageable, I don't think. So I was looking for a 1265 speaker, as I know that's quite a common speaker that's used kind of in the Dumble world. Robin Ford, I think, and John Mayer, I think, cabs that use those. And then for the second set of amp settings, I'm using the EV12L, I think, speakers from the Dumble cabs. So you get like a different sound and stuff like that. But I think that's quite a useful way to make use of the scene. So you might have like either bright or dark, and you might just you might switch to a different cab combination. Kind of a relatively cool. Here's my kind of semi-driven, more rhythm tone going through a G1265 Celestion speaker. And then if I long press, I've got another option of the EV12 speaker. And that's mirrored the same throughout my clean settings as well. So here's my clean with the EV12. And then if I long press, I've got the same settings but with a with the G1265 speaker. So I think that's one way that you could also think about auditioning cabs. But I was thinking, if you're finding that it's not necessarily hugely easy to tweak things on the fly, I think one of the most completely change the character of a preset or a sound or a patch is to change the cabinet configuration. And so that might be a way that you could do it. You know, copy your main kind of blocks and your scenes across and just switch out the cabinets on a second set, and you can then compare and contrast, and maybe for different situations you might think, I'm going to use that other cabinet configuration here. And also it might be a good way to find out, I'll just explain. Both of these are the 2x12 Bluedo H65 cabs, so they're both from the same cab, if that makes sense. And then I'll use two different mic combinations for it. So I've got on cab 1 the 160A, so that'll be a ribbon mic, and then cab 2 is the 421D, so that's like a Sennheiser 421 dynamic microphone, I believe. So that's how I would set up, so it's like a dual miking of the same cab, and that way things aren't too dissimilar. The channel B version of the cabs that I'm using are the Rumble 12L, so the EV12, and I've got a ribbon mic 121 on the left hand side, or cab 1, and then cab 2 I've got a 4047A. I'm not exactly sure what sort of mic that is, maybe a condenser, but that's just how I'm running that at the moment. So those are some kind of cool things that you might not have thought of, probably a lot of you might have. But the long pressing switches means that you can get access to all of the available scenes, and then the copying channels and scenes is a good way, I think, of auditioning cabs and perhaps setting up a more versatile kind of preset that you could switch sort of mid-gig and say, this is too bright for this room, I want to use a different speaker combination. That could hopefully work in some way. Anyway, hopefully that was vaguely interesting. There's going to be some playing at some point in this video, maybe at the start, maybe at the end, with these presets. If you want to try I'll send you the email. If you write in the description on the Buy Me a Coffee thing, you can try your FM3 presets, and I'll send out the folder. And basically, any time that I drop those into the folder, so eventually you'll have a whole bunch of them. So yeah, hopefully that's vaguely interesting. If you could like questions you might have about the FM3 and stuff, Leon Todd is a great resource for this. Leon Todd's channel is a great resource for this, obviously. He's kind of the resident Axe Effects FM3 expert. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today, and thank you for watching. Cheers.